Think you've got every gun trick in the book figured out? Over the years, I've picked up tips from combat vets, high-level competition shooters, and old-school gunsmiths who have seen it all. Some of these ideas are so straightforward, you'll wonder why you didn't think of them, while others might completely flip what you thought you knew about firearms. From cleaning shortcuts that actually save you hours, to training tweaks that can sharpen your aim almost overnight, these 10 tips separate the casual shooter from the ones who live and breathe this stuff. Let's dive in. Number 10. The vinegar and peroxide barrel rescue. A lot of folks think the only way to strip stubborn fouling is with pricey, brand-name solvents. But there's a field-tested method soldiers have been using for decades that works just as well, if not better, than anything hanging on the shelf at your local gun shop. Mix equal amounts of plain white vinegar and hydrogen peroxide in a small jar. This forms a gentle acid that eats through lead, copper, and brass deposits like they were never there. For a badly fouled bore, wet a patch with the mix, swab it through, and leave it overnight. Come morning, run clean patches through, and you'll see years of gunk peel right out. It works wonders on revolver cylinders too. Those ugly scorch marks on the face don't stand a chance. Just scrub them with a bronze brush dipped in the solution, follow up with a green Scotch-Brite pad, and it'll look fresh from the factory. The important warning here, don't let this solution sit for too long. It leaves a tacky residue that needs to be flushed with brake cleaner or a quality solvent. Then followed with proper oiling, and never, under any circumstances, shoot ammo that has been soaking in it. The acid can weaken metal and lead to dangerous failures. This isn't your every cleaning routine, but when nothing else works, it's a magic bullet cleaner. Number 9. Turning household throwaways into reloading gold. Reloading gear can get expensive fast unless you know how to turn everyday junk into handy tools. One of the simplest tricks is using dryer sheets. Yep, the same bounce sheets you toss in with laundry. Wipe your powder funnels and plastic hoppers with them, and you'll kill static so your powder flows smooth instead of clinging like it's alive. Old film canisters? Perfect for measuring or transferring powder. They're clear, easy to handle, and if you overcharge, you can pour it right back into the measure. Here's a clever one for testing loads. Use different colored Sharpies to mark bullets just ahead of the bearing surface. When you shoot groups at the same point of aim, the colored transfer on your target tells you exactly which load shot where, especially useful at longer ranges where wind plays tricks. A small magnifying glass helps check brass and flash holes, while a can of compressed air clears debris from primer pockets in seconds. And thin latex gloves? They keep skin oils off primers and powder while saving your hands from grime. These little hacks can make your reloading bench run smoother without draining your wallet. Number 8. The Loctite seating depth gauge trick. Dialing in bullet seating depth is critical for accuracy, yet most folks just guess and hope. Here's a gunsmith shortcut for finding the exact point where your bullet touches the rifling. Take a once-fired case, coat the inside of the neck with blue Loctite, and seat a bullet just deep enough so it won't fall out. Carefully chamber it, close the bolt, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. When you extract it, the bullet will be glued at the lance position. That number becomes your precision baseline. From there, you can test whether your rifle prefers the bullet jammed slightly into the lance or with a tiny jump before engaging the rifling. Different barrels like different setups, but without knowing your true lance measurement, you're just guessing. This method costs pennies, needs no fancy gauges, and delivers pinpoint measurements so you can load with real data instead of crossed fingers. Number 7. Keep your magazines on a rotation schedule. Most shooters treat their magazines like permanent parts, but in reality, they're consumables. The springs lose tension over time, especially when left fully loaded for months on end. The fix? Rotate them. If you've got several magazines, swap them every few months so no single one stays compressed all the time. When rotating, take a moment to inspect for cracked feed lips, warped bodies, or sluggish springs. More often than not, feeding issues are a mag problem, not a gun problem. If a mag shows trouble, retire it immediately. They're far cheaper to replace than the cost of a malfunction when it counts. Keep extras on hand, label them with the date you put them into use, and track wear over time. Treat mags like the wear and tear parts they are, and you'll eliminate most feeding failures before they ever happen. Number 6. Troubleshooting like a gunsmith. When your firearm quits running, the worst thing you can do is start poking at it blindly. Every malfunction leaves clues, and learning to read those signs saves time and prevents costly damage. A failure to fire usually comes down to either bad ammo or an ignition issue. Check the primer on the dud round if there's a deep, solid strike. That's most likely defective ammunition. If the strike mark is shallow or barely there, your firing pin isn't delivering enough force. Start by cleaning the firing pin channel, then check the condition of the spring. A failure to feed is often magazine-related. Weak springs, bent feed lips, or an improperly seated mag are the usual culprits. Don't rule out shooter technique. Some pistols need a firm, locked wrist to cycle correctly. Stovepipes and failure to eject are commonly caused by a dirty or damaged extractor, a worn extractor spring, or again, a weak grip. Clear these by canting the pistol so the ejection port faces down and working the slide aggressively. Double feeds can look ugly but are usually straightforward to clear. Lock the slide to the rear, strip the magazine, and manually rack out the jammed rounds. The golden rule? Stay calm and work methodically. Most issues come from consumables like ammo, mags, or springs. Check those before assuming the gun itself is bad. Number 5. Tap, rack, reassess the go to fix. When something goes wrong mid-string, you need one immediate action drill that works for almost everything. Tap, rack, reassess is that drill, and it has kept more people alive than any complicated clearing method you've ever seen. First, tap the bottom of your magazine hard to ensure it's seated. A surprising number of stoppages come from a mag that's just barely hanging on. Next, rack the slide with authority, pull it all the way back, and let it slam forward. That motion ejects the offending round or casing and loads a fresh one. Finally, reassess. Get your sights back on target right away and be prepared to fire. Don't waste time admiring your technique. The threat is still in front of you. This drill handles most failures to fire, failures to eject, and even some double feeds. It's simple enough to perform when adrenaline is high and fine motor skills are gone. Train until it's automatic. The beauty is that it either gets you back in the fight or makes it obvious that the problem needs deeper work. Either way, you have an answer. Number 4. The don'ts of gun cleaning. Cleaning time can bring out some of the worst garage workshop ideas. Plenty of good firearms have been ruined by using the wrong products. Skip the oven cleaner, carburetor cleaner, or other aggressive household chemicals. They'll strip protective finishes and can even pit the metal. Even something that sounds harmless, like simple green, can eat into certain coatings. Avoid cotton swabs, paper towels, or old t-shirt scraps. They leave lint and fibers that can work their way into your action. If you need patches, use purpose-made ones that won't fray. And whatever you do, don't chuck a chamber brush into a power drill. That shortcut will wear out the chamber and potentially mess up headspace. Stick to hand power only. Steer clear of abrasive pads unless you know exactly what you're scrubbing. What you think is stubborn fouling may actually be your finish. Above all, never run your gun dry. The wrong lubricant or no lubricant at all will do more harm than a little leftover fouling. A dirty, wet gun will almost always run better than a spotless, bone-dry one. Number 3. Brake cleaner and motor oil last-ditch maintenance. Out in the field without your cleaning kit? You can improvise with brake cleaner and motor oil, but you've got to understand the trade-offs. Brake cleaner will blast away carbon, oil, and fouling faster than almost anything else, but it also strips every bit of protective oil from your parts. If you use it, relube immediately and thoroughly. Think minutes, not hours, or rust will start before you know it. Keep it off plastic parts whenever possible, as it can be harsh on some polymers. Motor oil works as an emergency lubricant if proper gun oil isn't available. A quick dipstick swipe and a few drops on critical points like the bolt carrier or slide rails will keep the action running. Remember, for short-term reliability, lubrication matters more than spotless cleanliness. A dirty gun that's well oiled will run circles around a clean one that's dry. These tricks aren't replacements for real maintenance, but when you're far from the bench, they might just keep you in the fight. Number 2. Clean more than you think you need to. Most shooters only break out the cleaning kit when they notice their groups opening up or when the gun starts acting sluggish. That's a reactive mindset, and it costs you in both performance and longevity. A better habit is to clean your firearm after every range trip, no matter if you ran 200 rounds or just a handful. Powder residue, oil from your hands, and airborne grit start settling the moment you fire or even when you handle the gun. Carbon fouling draws in moisture, and moisture is what feeds rust. Here's the part many overlook. Even a safe queen needs periodic cleaning. Dust, lint, and humidity sneak in during storage. Military armories mandate a minimum cleaning interval of 90 days. And in damp climates, that schedule should be even tighter. A fouled bore doesn't just dull accuracy, it changes how every round rides the rifling, causing unpredictable shots. Build-up in the action invites feeding problems, ejection failures, and light strikes. Treat each cleaning session as a mini-inspection. You'll catch loose screws, worn springs, or small cracks before they ruin a match or a hunt. Stick to a simple routine field strip. Clean the bore, scrub the action, then apply a light coat of oil on moving parts. It's not about making your gun shiny, it's about keeping it ready, reliable, and protected for years to come. Number 1. Secure storage without losing speed. Owning guns means balancing two priorities: keeping them safe from unauthorized hands while still having them instantly available if trouble comes knocking. For defensive firearms, a quick access safe with either biometric or high-quality mechanical combination access is your best friend. Train to open it in pitch darkness until your hands can do it without hesitation. If you can't operate it half asleep under stress, it's not fast enough. Store the firearm unloaded, with ammunition in a separate locked container if the law requires it. For quick defense setups, keep your loaded magazines or speed loaders inside the same secure box as the gun itself. This gives you instant readiness without leaving loose ammo lying around. Forget hiding spots. Curious kids and experienced thieves will find them. A proper locking unit is the only real deterrent to unauthorized access. Plan your storage with worst-case scenarios in mind. If someone in your home is struggling, whether with depression, substance abuse, or another crisis, consider temporarily storing firearms off-site. No piece of hardware is worth more than a life. Finally, check your setup regularly. Make sure locks work smoothly, hinges are solid, and batteries in electronic safes are fresh. Safe storage isn't a set it and forget it, project it's an ongoing part of responsible ownership. That's 10 solid tricks to sharpen your shooting game and keep your gear running like it should. A few might sound unconventional, and some may go against what you've always been told, but every single one comes straight from people who've put in the time behind the trigger. Got a favorite gun hack of your own? Drop it in the comments. I'm always looking to learn new angles from fellow shooters. If this rundown gave you something useful, hit that subscribe button for Gun Fanatics, where we focus on firearms tips and tactics that work in the real world, not just on paper. Until next time, stay safe, shoot straight, and keep your skills sharp.